Okay, well, hello there, viewers, and welcome to technically the first, or rather second, live stream cast out there. So, like I said, today we're playing some community 2v2s, hopefully, and if we can't do that, then we'll play some latter 1v1 matches. Okay, well, hello there, viewers, and welcome to technically the first, or rather second, live stream cast out there. So, like I said, today we're playing okay, so it looks like I actually have to disable the preview audio, and now I think things should be fine. Sure. So, with the stream, since we're simply waiting on people, I'm gonna restart the stream right here to add a delay to the chat. That way, we're not the chat, but the actual stream itself. That way, if people do watch, it's hard to kind of alt tab over and kind of like check up on what we're doing. So I will be back in a second. Okay, so I think we're live now. It's just that the stream, I would imagine now that it has a delay, will take a little bit to update, but apart from that, things should be going on. Perfect. Right, so today we are playing 2v2s, as I had said. We are playing with 4 people. One of them I know does view the channel, the rest I don't necessarily know. But anyhow, that's not the point. We are playing a 2v2 on Wilderness. It's top versus bottom on a map featuring quite a lot of naval action, so we can kind of expect quite a lot of naval and possibly airplay, and who knows, maybe some action on the middle of the map in the form of a couple of vehicles here and there as well. So let's see how this goes. So for this map, I'm thinking probably something air heavy. Taking a look at mass. Holy, there is an entire boat right there, filled with res. So that is some very juicy reclaim positioned on the map, and I'm guessing everybody gets one of those things. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what we can do about pumping out some units and grabbing some things. Hmm. Oh, that's not good. I was kind of wondering whether or not it was on my end, actually, with the streaming being in effect. I'd imagine that we'd have quite some problems with it. Oh, no. Yeah, that guy's not very nice. Ah, okay, your game crashed, eh? That sucks. Right, that next time when I host this, I didn't take this into account. I figured that the game wouldn't use that much bandwidth. It might be because of, yeah, the chat being in effect. Or not the chat, but the high bit rate behind this. Probably don't need it that high, being honest. So I think I'll see what I can do about chatting, or oh, never mind. I suppose that's the first game down. So in that case, we'll remake it and we'll see what we can do about changing the settings here. Sorry guys, there is a bit of a delay between switching from like the stream the stream off and then back on. So that said, in the meantime, at the very least, we can do some other stuff here. So I'll pop back out, I'll change the settings here, and we'll be right back, I guess. Okay, so we are back up in terms of the stream. So it'll take you guys a couple of minutes before. Yeah, it kind of sucks that I can't really like I can see or I like streaming is actually really weird in the same sense that like for my videos I know I can inject the chat into the video, but I can't actually read it like in game. It's not actually like on my screen, it's just in the video. So I have the chat on my second monitor, but the thing is that I can't actually like type without switching out of the window. So if I do, it shows me exiting the game and going out of it, which I don't really know. I don't really know if that's an annoying thing for you guys, but yeah. So one thing that if while we wait for teams to finish up here, I mean one of the things that once all this stuff wraps up with, tell me about like what the quality is like during the matches, seeing as how I did have to lower the bandwidth, but I think it will increase my ping. And hosting games, I mean these are of course like locally hosted games. I think it'll be slightly better for other things. So yeah, that is that. K Fork where K for cool vids YouTube. I do play some SC2. If you'd like, I mean we could play some of that later on. I think honestly I played a bit of SC2 mostly between friends before playing like this. I don't like it that much because I don't like to me it's not a strategy game. It's more of a mechanics game where like it's solely about like produce XYZ units and then send them in and being able to do that really efficiently. And the thing is that it's fun but it's arcadey is the thing. Come to think of it, this is really weird in the sense that I have my game on one monitor right now, and I'm sending what's on that monitor plus a little bit more for the chat and all that to some unknown server, and then it comes back to me as 1080 video on my second monitor right now. So that's it's really weird. Alright, I'm gonna see whether or not we can just get a 1v1 going at the time, seeing as how, I don't know whether or not there's just simply a lot of games open right now, or what. Okay, well, I guess we're playing a 1v1 for now. Right, and again, guys, if you have Supreme Commander, of course, you are invited to join us in the lobby here. So we open that, and then I somehow click on the map, I guess. And that. Okay, so I guess we have our first match up and running now, first official match, and we're doing a Sibrin 1v1. So I posted a video about like just in general rating earlier today on this map in a similar layout game. So this will be quite interesting to see how it worked. All right. Okay. So one thing that I should note is that the community chat on YouTube is now delayed for me by 2 minutes. I don't see it on the second monitor anymore. So we're keeping that in mind. I will be replying to you guys, I guess, 2 minutes later than what I was doing before. So with that said, I mean, somebody had Supreme Commander for the Xbox. I remember that game. I rented it before I had actually bought it. It actually wasn't bad. I thought it actually ran better on consoles than it did in on the PC for the time being, actually. Okay, so let's see. Taking a look at Theta Passage again. So what I'm going to do is gonna go for that early hydrocarbon plant. Get my scouts out, and I think this is kind of where the 2 minute delay might prove to be insufficient, because he'll know exactly what I see about 2 minutes late. Which, you know, come to think of it, isn't. It's not terribly bad for the for the game's sake, but nevertheless, I mean, it's manageable. Who cares? It's not that important. So that said, I don't think I'll be commenting too much on like what I'm building back here. I'm pretty sure both of us need to have some concentration about what's going on in the field here. And with that, we will begin properly. Let's bring this up. Let's get that. One nice thing that I have here is that I actually have a lot of the buildings on hotkeys. It's actually kind of cool how they do hotkeys in this game, where in the sense that you can have multiple on one key and you can alternate through them. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Anyhow, second factory here, we'll get 5, 2, 1. We'll get that to repeat. That'll be our primary factory. So this looks like it's working now. So perfect. We're going to build our things this way. And we'll get this factory. Click on it to assist and bring it out like that. So let's see. Let's give these guys some jobs. Get them to reclaim that. Take a look at what's out here. And I like the spread on the things there being very vague here in what I say. So that's quite handy. I've been messing around with the game earlier today. I was trying to figure out, say, what's a good pattern for placing down walls, so that you can't necessarily pass through them, but you can you can kind of like waddle your way through them, if that makes any sense. So kind of like one-way walls, where passing through them is difficult, but going the opposite way around, where I suppose it's like a one-way, it's like a two-way mirror, but one-way door, where, yeah, something like that. Oh, actually, let's see what they have. Land factories, lots and lots of land factories, eh? Sure, fair enough. We'll get that. We'll get that. Oh no, my army went too far forwards. Oh, that's not good. Right, so we'll defend this, and then we'll get the split going for our raids. Okay, so if they want to fight over there, that's fine. Uh-oh. It looks like he really does have some game problems. Are you still here? Well, I guess that says it. That sucks. Yeah, it looks like he really does have some problems with the connection. Yeah, I noticed that the game does route you through some sort of proxy server if you do have issues with it, but this is really weird. So, no, that's brutal. I guess we'll have to find ladder games on the actual ladder. Like maybe if I wait long enough, it will be fine. But oh well, I guess we'll just go to the secondary option here, which is to find a 1v1 game on the ladder. And luckily there is one available right now, so that is good. And the better thing is that now, at the very least, I highly doubt that the people there will be watching this stream. So there, I can talk about like what I plan on doing in terms of strategy and things like that. So hopefully this sets up matches properly. Because sometimes I found that like only like one or two people are actually on the matchmaking system, or I should say one or two pairs. And what happens is that if you have connection problems, you'll be like paired up with the same guy for like 5 matches, and you just won't connect to any of them, which is a frustrating experience to say the least. So yeah, let's say hi and get the game going. So similar build. I mean, this map is a little bit bigger, so our raiding parties won't be as effective. But I mean, the primary thing on this map, from my perspective at the least, is that it's an econ heavy map. My opponent spawns here. There's a lot of lots of very deep mass deposits here, kind of centered around a couple of locations, tapping through, checking for mass, and it looks like the main thing is that there's 2 wrecks in the middle that give, I would say, a decent amount, and there's some stuff on the sides in the form of I think crashed ships, something like that. Anyhow, very standard, very samey build here from me, going into that double pump into hydro plant here. So let's get that rolling. Grab one, send that down. Looks like 2 pumps finished way before I had anticipated them to do so. So we'll get another one, and that should finish up nicely. So I think with the map being this big, I think I'll go into a air factory second, seeing as how with it being what it is, I don't think we'll be able to set up for anything else. My opponent is playing as Seraphim, so this should be interesting on multiple fronts, mostly in the fact that his units are very slow. Seraphim units are absolutely abysmal when it comes to speed, which should give me a bit of an edge in anything that category. So we'll get this air factory hooked up and producing very shortly here. And afterwards, we should be in a very decent setup here. So we're going to go into air, we're going to get a single bomber out, and we're going to produce some alternative units out. So now the bad thing is with this reactor setup, there's no way I can build a ton of factories there, or squeeze in a few more factories for the adjacency bonus, but that's fair. I want these 2 engineers just to cap those 2 spots, or actually, never mind, I'll send this one deep. The main thing on these big maps, I find, is that you know, I don't want to get an engineer to spend their time capping all 3 of these places, because to me it really is a waste. They take way too long, you only get 2 mass from these things either way, so it's not optimal. It's not optimal. But we can get the bomber to start to look for targets. I'm going to get it to fly a path like that, check out anything that's there, and I'm going to get this scout to pop up to that rock, check it, see what it does, and with the rest of the stuff here, I guess we'll get things to move. Let's get 1 engineer to grab that, another engineer to grab all of this. And my commander, we will get... Oh, would you look at that? We did have room to squeeze in another thing. So I'm going to build 2 interceptors into 1 bomber and go from there instead. So that is either commander. These seem like they might be raiding units. It looks like he's building some walls there, which I do not like. So I am going to get a bombing run onto that. And the bomber missed. Perfect. There we go, 2nd land factory, 3rd land factory going down. There we go, now we are getting the pickings. So I'm kind of worried about this push right here. If he gets any tanks out, or if he gets enough units out through there, I might be in a pretty bad spot. Overall, let's cap that off. Make sure he doesn't give a easy engineer pick off here. And see what I can do about getting some harassment around. So this engineer is in a terrible spot. I could send him to cap off these points, but I think he'd just die. Nevertheless, we'll try it. Get this factory to assist, grab 3 of them to produce units for us, and I think... Do we have an engineer close by? I think we'll press over here to build our stuff for the time being. Right, so we'll do something like that. And I think we can do 1 more factory before we need to call it quits. We'll get a radar set up soon enough as well. Good scout plane pickoff. And let's actually bring the bombers around there. Thing is that the Siberian planes, they're actually not that great against against the opposing side's little planes. They're I wouldn't say they're actually like much worse, but they're definitely not on par with them is the thing. So let's get a plane to make a couple of flybys there, take a look at what we have. And over here, oh, Control A for air, bring that around. He is going, from the looks of it, no, never mind. I thought that was a T2 icon, that would have been quite worrisome. So my thoughts right now is that I'll push deep over there, grab some troops, and put them inside the actually spot the back corner of the map there. And so long as my opponent doesn't do too much from that angle, we can call on those forces in a bit to do some damage. How many bombers do I have? I have 1 bomber, is that right? 3 bombers, good enough. So let's see, attack. Ah, he has his commander over here, perfect. Sure, so this is looking pretty well for us if it's going to be a mirror match all around. There, what are these bombers doing? They should be hitting their primary target. Ah, there's that push. Wow, those tanks are that slow. Let's see if we can micro this to grab some easy kills here. Probably not. Unless the artillery gets it. Yeah, it does. Perfect. Okay, let's see. I think we lost the engineer over here, but you know what? That's fine. We are stalling on mass, and we're getting land control in the meantime, so therefore, it is factory time. Now, come to think of it, I think we'll only build these 2 factories for now. We are going to stall on power. Power is our main worry right here. And taking out the enemy's power is therefore one of our goals here. So overall, in terms of bombers, I think UEF has one of the better AoE bombers, but they're not great in terms of overall performance. And the other side of that, I think it's either Seraphim or Aeon bombers. Either way, I mean those 2 are pretty great all around. I think I'll actually pause production here. I really need those energy generators. Let's see if we can get the hero drop in. And hope to God the accuracy on that is good enough. Come to think of it, he doesn't have any more very much in his base, so keep air pressure going here. And the thing about stalling for mass or stalling for energy is that once you get stalled on energy, you lose mass because the energy comes from mass. If I tab Control R, yeah, GG's called, but anyhow, if I tab towards R, I mean, you'll see that 2 mass is converted, or 2 energy is converted to mass. So therefore, the drawback is that, I mean, if you stall on energy, you stall on mass, but if you don't stall on energy, or if you stall on mass but don't stall on energy, you're fine. So yeah, that's a one-way street. Anyhow, GG, that was a good game. Did I say that in chat? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say that in chat. But that is game number 1, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I suppose we'll be back after a quick washroom break. Somebody messaged me, apparently. Where did I get a message? Was that Mumble? I do not know what the, Yeah, I don't know why my Mumble's like this. It has this obnoxious blue on, like, black text on blue background theme. As it turns out, it just comes with it, but that's another story. So in the, I suppose, in the grand scheme of this, I will be right back, and I think it's time for a commercial break. Word from our sponsors. And we are back with more, well, Supreme Commander here. So I think we'll queue up once again for an auto match, and we shall be right in, or, you know, I suppose I found the game really fast, seeing as how I think, yeah, just, it's always there. It's always a fast game when it says there's somebody in your skill zone looking for a game. So, here we go again. Ah, it's a naval map. Huh, okay. So this will be interesting. I mean, one of the things about Supreme Commander is that the game is, it is very, how you say, like, fully fleshed out in terms of naval, air, and ground combat, of course. The thing being is that I'm really not a fan of the naval combat inside the game, but we'll see how this runs. Oh, okay, that's fair too. Because I was going to say, because you or Sibrin should have, they should have the best naval frigate efficiency wise. So, okay, so now we have a choice. Another person of my skill level has been found for a 1v1 game. The only caveat being is that it will probably be the same person in the queue. I think we'll just take that and roll with it. I'm taking a look at like general chat right now, so this is slightly out of order, but some people are talking about the UEF faction. I took a look at their database page for their main battle tank, and I thought it was kind of weird in the same sense that the game lists them being at 300 HP, having I think below average DPS, honestly, like it being at 24 DPS versus like 26 for most factions, something like that. And anyhow, to that, one of the things is that, like, I think there's a discrepancy between what the wiki says and what they actually are in game. It's not a big deal, but I was just kind of, I don't know, commenting on it, seeing if anyone else has had that problem. So we are playing on Rigor for Highlands once again. I don't know if it's against the same person, but anyhow, they are playing as Sibrin, or they're playing as Aeon. Excuse me. So this should be an interesting matchup. Very fast tanks versus very long range but fragile tanks. So I think the big thing here is, as odd as it sounds, our Air Force keeping track of their bombers and really doing some damage there, and getting artillery pieces on the ground for kind of the same purpose. Artillery should EMP them, slow them down, and make them not shoot, which has a similar effect. So I'm going to do the same build as last time. I don't know if this is the exact same person, but I guess we'll find out, or I guess you guys will know. So let's get this hydrocarbon power plant up and running. Tap through. I'm going to check on the Rex again because I don't remember them perfectly. I think this is our natural expansion. Knew there was one more. Scout plane into bomber into interceptor. Okay, so there we go, we have that, and let's get the power strip down. Oh, he went bomber first. Oh, that is not good for us. So that would imply that he doesn't really have too much back here. Because if you go bomber first, and your bomber was like quite literally your first unit, you're gonna be energy stalled. That's just how the game is set up, I think. So, let's see what we can do about that. Let's get an aircraft out, let's cap the mass point. And we can get our fighter to just kite him all day long. He is probably gonna be on... Yeah, he's only going to be on one base. He's must have major energy problems if he wants to go for like such a build like this. There's just no way around it. Good thing is that we can punish pretty hard for doing an air-only build. Let's get our commander to start the walk, seeing as how our engineers are now a little bit at risk. So we'll do that. We'll get some mass going. We'll get one engineer purely to help out building. Oh my god. Really? I was going to say one engineer to help out purely on building stuff, on planes. And that, folks, is one of the ultimate forms of cheese. Air-only builds. It'll stall your economy, and yeah, pretty much put you in the worst possible place imaginable. He really wants to pick off that one engineer out of all things. Alright, fair enough. Oh, one thing, I have my hotkeys set up slightly differently, but I have them such that... He's really going for the scouts too. I have them set up such that I can quickly cancel everything that is currently in my production queue. The nice thing about that is I can quickly re-gear towards, just in general, something else with my economy. Fuck it, I suppose we'll build things right in the middle of the map right here. So that is done. That should be done in a second. Second engineer, go over here. And I don't know if I have enough bombers yet, or I don't know if I have enough fighters to switch here yet. But once I get 4 bombers, if I'm able to pick off those power generators, I've effectively won then. Because there's nothing he can do about that. So let's see, he doesn't have too much there. So I'm going to wait, I'm going to try to intercept as best as I can. Switch into bombers. And once I have some bombers going here, you know what, I think I'll build a, or no, I'm being really indecisive here, sorry folks, but I'm gonna swap into bombers on my own here. He sees the bombers, he must be worried. His tanks are also pretty brittle, he's not microing them. So we are just going to try to get everything to drop bombs on his hydrocarbon power plant. That thing's worth 5. Oh, okay, that works too. So I think we handled that pretty well, seeing as how, I mean, if you do get hit with the bomber, like, early on, it is a extremely difficult thing to kind of recover from. I mean, if you think about it, like, you only need one bomber to pick off the engineers, pick off the power plants, and afterwards you transition into interceptors, right? And then you've pretty much, you've got the other person at their throat, effectively. The other thing is that there's an exploit inside the game in which you can hover the bombers over the buildings, and then therefore you can just wait until the bomber recharges its payload, drop it, and then kind of reset, right? So I think he was trying to do that, but he didn't manage to pull it off, where we got the air out of the, where we got the Air Force out and ready before then. So yeah, I mean, overall that was a quick and nice match, so there you go. Right, so I think we'll exit, and we shall set up for another. Let's see. We're gonna put it on shortly resume here. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I think we'll do an ad cut right here, then get back to, well, Supreme Commander. Okay, so we are back with more Supreme Commander after a short break. By the way, guys, for those who are watching in 720 and 1080p, please tell me how have the last two matches been in terms of quality? Because if it is good, then we are pretty much set for streaming, and then we can kind of focus on, I suppose, content things, and I don't know, maybe a bot for the chat. So yeah, and yeah, be sure to actually include whether or not you're watching 720 versus 1080, because I find that some of the 1080 things are a bit skewed, and 720 seems to work the best. I always watch videos in 720. So that is that, and anyhow, we will queue up for the auto match once more. Or let's just scan real fast, see whether or not there's any good multiplayer lobbies set up, which there is none. So that is sadly the case. There. Okay, so it looks like it's going to take a little while before any games are found. Huh. Right, well, in the meantime, I suppose we can chat in chat. Oh, I think it, yeah, there is a game found. There you go. Okay, so can we go for, let's see, 3 for 3 technically, out of these latter games that we played? Sure, let's see what we can do. So today we are playing Sibrin once again, going fighting against another, well, oh, never mind. Oh, we'll call that a victory. We'll call that a victory. Huh. False alarm, I guess. So, no game there, but I do like that map. I do like that Glacier map. It's quite nice. Especially going up against a Aeon opponent. That would be quite interesting on that map. Seeing as how that map is I think we would have the edge there, mostly because we have faster units on a map with lots of chokeholds, lots of pillars and ramps and things like that that stop the Aeon bullets, because I think they're laser beams, they're not actual like physical projectiles. So we have, yeah, I would say we have the advantage there, which is quite nice. And though I don't necessarily know whether or not the guy kind of quit because of that or because of something else. So, that said, I mean, that is kind of that. Right, so I suppose we'll go back to finding games. I guess I will hop into the chat here with you guys for a while. So pop out chat, I think. Is that how we do it? Yeah. And we can bring it here. So there we go. What are we talking about here? We're talking about bombers, sure. Yeah, I like the UEF bomber, and if you guys haven't seen it in any of my videos, the UEF bomber inside this game, it's it's like this napalm bomber where it drops like a whole bunch of bombs and they scatter, and then they set the map aflame, and they burn like the living crap out of anything below you, which is quite nice. And like a lot of their damage, I think the bad part about them is that a lot of the damage comes from what's kind of being burnt on the ground, you know, like it's a delayed effect. It's not kind of something that you see there right away, right? So I'm under the impression some people don't like that part, where maybe like some people say that it's inaccurate. I've actually yet to find that a big issue though, is the thing. Right, so we are in game number 4 against Yarg, a UEF player. Sure, in Rumble in the Jungle. This map, again, kind of mass heavy. 2 sides, lots of stuff in the center. Overall, fun place to be. So 2 engineers, a couple of land scouts, 2 more engineers, or let's do 4 more engineers, and that'll be our run-of-the-mill strat. So this map right here, there are 2 hydrocarbon power plants in fairly vulnerable locations. I don't think we'll be tearing up into them, just simply because they are quite far away, and I don't think walking the commander there is worthwhile in doing something like that. So we'll try to, yeah, so we'll do a power plant build. So we get, if you want to transition to area, I think you get 4 of them. If you don't, you stay on 2, you build your second land factory. So let's get that stuff out of the way and sent. So I'm going to be real careful here with my hotkeys, make sure that we stay in the game. Taking a look at the mass on the map here, it looks like there's a couple of areas on the map with some very, very juicy mass. So that's all well and good. And I'm just going to make sure we're not on the resume screen. I just realized that Control-Shift is what I use to change between scenes. And, oh my god, I'm seeing whether or not that has any issue with what the game does here. And, uh-oh, that's not good. Ah, my game had an error.